afternoon, everybody. I brought my tin hat with me. And my husband says I should really put it on and get my photo taken again. So, yeah, okay.
Excellent, thank you.
That started out at 7 o'clock this morning when we saw all these information about David Hamilton and what he said about our Nicola, and it's just not on, it's not acceptable, So happy International Women's Day, everybody. Here's some names: Priscilla McLaren, Elsie Inglis and Emily Davison. Why name these women? They were activists for furthering the rights of women. Priscilla McLaren founded the Edinburgh Society of Women's Suffrage in 1867. That was 100 years before I was born. Elsie Inglis in 1906 founded the Scottish Women's Social and Political Union in Edinburgh. And Emily Davison, some of you might know her, she was the woman who flung herself in front of the King's horse and died so that women could get the vote. But actually she didn't do it on purpose. I think she was wanting to attach a wee scarf to the horses, but it's very difficult to attach scarves to horses as they're galloping past at 35 miles an hour. These women are names among many who were activists, suffragettes, dedicated to improving women's rights at home and in the workplace, and they wanted justice and equality for all women. That was the past. So where are we today? I'm going to put it to you that the SNP is the party for women in Scotland. Think of Winnie Ewan, Margot MacDonald, and of course a young lass who's been mentioned already, Nicola Sturgeon. These women that I have just named are among many, and are here today as well, many who have been instrumental in moving the presence of women in politics forward. There's actually a book out just now that I should really buy on the way home if the shops are still open. It's called Who Made Adam Smith's Dinner? And he lived with his mum and he never had got married or anything. But the premise of the book is basically, if he actually made his own dinner, he would figure out how much work it took and to be a carer and look after other people, which is what women do. And maybe his politics of, when you go to the butcher and the butcher's not giving you the piece of meat just for the good in his heart. He's doing it to make money. He's not being benevolent. So this book, Who Made Adam Smith's Dinner, challenges the ideas that maybe if we looked at who made his dinner, there might be a different attitude towards women in society today, because we are the ones that are the carers and that look after everybody. So, women in politics, this is what we're looking for today. And in doing all of this, we've brought the Scottish National Party forward to where we are today. Here's a couple of wee statistics as well. Today in Scotland, 51.5% of the population are women. And in a recent poll, the one that Helen mentioned, more women in Scotland support the SNP than men. In fact, more than half of the women in Scotland, 50.6%, will support the SNP in a Holyrood election. And for the first time in Scotland, we do have complete gender equality in the Cabinet because of that wee lass, Nicola Sturgeon. And Nicola continues by challenging the boardrooms as well, and that's great. To challenge the boardrooms across Scotland so that we can have gender equality also. We women in this room, we are the future. We are the future of the SNP in Scotland. Your contribution is vital in the Westminster election in May. So here is what I need you to do in order to secure more SNP seats at Westminster. We all need to get out and talk to women. We are the chatterers, the clatterers, communicators, connectors and bletherers. We are key to community networking and sharing of knowledge. Sharing of knowledge in Douglas, in Glasgow, in Rickside, in Harpenden, Uddington and Simonton. These are the parts that are DCT constituency. It's huge. Here is what we need to tell our friends and family, and then what our friends and family need to tell their friends and family. We need to tell them to make a choice on May the 7th and vote SNP. The SNP is the party for women. This is what the SNP have done for women. Support women in the workplace, better childcare support, support the living wage. This helps everyone, but it also helps women because more women work part-time jobs than men. 1,700 more nurses, that's what the SNP have done. More nurses and midwives. That's a career path which is predominantly occupied by women. And there's a fresh look being made at how women offenders are treated. You will never see the SNP put out a video of a woman sitting at a kitchen table saying she doesn't have time to think. Eat your cereal, Phil. You will never see the SNP paint a minivan pink to get the women's vote. And I better never hear an SNP politician refer to any woman as a lassie with a tin helmet. Scotland has the highest female employment, the lowest female unemployment, and the lowest female inactivity rate of any UK nations. For Westminster, currently there are 148 female MPs. That's only 22% of the total 650. And Cameron's cabinet, it only has 22% females also. If all 59 of the SNP candidates are elected on May the 7th, this will contribute greatly so that the voice of the people across Scotland will be heard in Westminster. So all of you chatterers, clatterers, communicators, connectors and bletherers, get out there and talk and help deliver the message that the SNP is the party for women in Scotland, and send all of us women candidates to Westminster on May the 7th. Thank you very much.